Welcome, 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 Inspired Tribe, to the Inspired Livestream here on the Inspired channel. It is Caillou Thursday, Question Thursday, Question and Answer Thursday, and we're excited that you're all here. My name is Jean Nolan. This is my wonderful wife, Kristin Nolan, the wise voice behind the camera, also the wise thumbs in a live chat. She's answering the questions and, putting out a lot of beautiful things and just putting her presence in the live chat. We're excited. We're excited about Question Thursday, where you guys get to ask a question. We get to answer it. And as always, this is our perspective. This is our truth. It's facts to the best of our knowledge, but it's still a perspective, our perspective. So at the end, at the beginning, and in the middle, you have to trust your intuition, open up your heart, feel it here in this space. When answers are coming, does it resonate with you? Does it scare you? Then that doesn't mean it's not true, but just feel it with this space here. Also, before we jump into today's live stream, I just wanted to invite you one more time. We are closing the registration for the Yada retreat tomorrow at midnight. So there's like 36-ish hours left, a little less, 34, I guess. And if you feel inspired, we just received just in the last 2 minutes, another sign up. If you feel inspired because of travel restrictions, what's going on, some people cannot make it. So there's a few spots open. If you feel this is it, you want to be a part of it, you want to create that energy shift with us, step out of your daily lives, then click the link in the live chat above and sign up and join us for the retreat. Let me see who's here today. Wonderful to see you all. I see Cosmicalities here. Emma's here. Sunshine Education. Vivian is here. Agnieszka. Bernardo, Živio iz Slovenije. Bernardo is a friend from Slovenia. Well, lepo da si tukaj. Nas zelo veseli. All right, my friends. Kristin is giving me a weird hand sign.
I'm not done yet.
She's not ready yet. It's all good. No, tribe, listen. Use, hey, Kevin, Laura, Saskia, hey, everyone. Listen, the live chat is where it's at. You put your question in there. Pretty much, there are no restrictions as to what you can ask. I mean, we might not be able to answer everything, but please feel free to put any and all questions in the live stream. And this is particularly because over the last weeks and months, we've received so many emails with questions that we would love to answer in every email. We simply don't have the time to do it. So over the past week, we've spoken about quite a few topics. And as you know, our main objective, our intention is to empower each and every one of you to live your best life, but also to bring that best, that inspiration, that empowerment to the world and to spread it and to share it and to make sure that it becomes the most contagious thing ever. Love, inspiration, beautiful things.
Bernardo is asking you a question if you're from Slovenia.
Ja, kolega, tako je, iz Slovenije. I won't speak too much Slovenian. I want everyone to understand it. But yes, I do speak Slovenian. That's where I was born. It's wonderful that you're here. So just shoot. I'm here waiting.
The first question Kevin is asking is, do you watch YouTube? And if so, what do you watch? And if not, why?
That's funny because we just discussed this with Illy, our one of the original tribe members a few days ago. So I hardly watch YouTube anymore, simply because we are in such a flow of inspired action and expansion that there's just not much time I want to dedicate. Not because there isn't great content, simply because I choose wisely. And if I do watch YouTube, it is usually something that I get an intuition to look something up, or it's a suggestion by someone I really love and trust. And every now and then there's a good, documentary that stays on there for like a couple hours till it gets taken down that I really enjoy, but not on a regular basis. But there's no TV or no show or nothing that we watch on a regular basis anymore. Some things every now and then, And if anyone ever asks what our favorite show of all time is, then we'll answer that. Yeah.
Next question is, how do you deal with heavy anxiety about stuff like world is a mirror and about all is one? Low emotions create distorted perception of reality. Yamato is asking that question.
I don't know what the question really was. I don't have anxiety. I get, I have sadness at times, might get angry at something at times, or anger is within me at times, but nothing that is lasting, nothing that is repetitive, nothing that is habitual, nothing that is a pattern anymore. But I do understand that people do get anxiety or wake up in the middle of the night or can't shake a feeling. And you said something beautiful. The mirror. The mirror is really, if something keeps coming up in your outer world or provokes a strong reaction inside of you, then first and foremost, it's out. Humans want to, okay, we're going to deal with this on the outside. We need to fix this. And while this needs attention and all of that is true, but first the healing needs to happen. And this is, what we talk about a lot, but it's so important. We'll talk about it more. So what gets mirrored to us in the reality and whatever is strongest, and if we seem to not be able to control those emotions when they come up, that's something unhealed, and that requires then healing. Then when you have healed, when that which causes this strong reaction heals inside of you, you are the perfect human being to help transmute this on the outside, to help people that are dealing with similar things, because you have healed, you have the full experience. So you bring the clearest light for them and something they can relate to. So I do believe, with all of my heart, that we have more than enough capability, potential to heal ourselves and in turn to help others to heal and to fix the big things that are so obvious now. I hope this answered the question.
The next question is, Magdalene said, so Jean, you said you saw this coming. Did you also see the COVID thing coming, and why is it happening? And can you get cut off of YouTube if you answer this question?
Yes, I can.
And then there is a similar question, maybe you can put it in one. Will it ever end and life will go back to normal as far as COVID?
So the question was, I said previously we saw this coming. Did we see COVID coming? And all related questions. Will it end? Will we go back to normal? So the seeing it coming, I couldn't have scripted this out the way it's playing out ahead of time, but I could have told you the key components of what was going to be introduced into the public, because what the objective has been clear for many years and decades. They put it in writing, they put it in many papers. So all of the suggestions, the passports, the travel restrictions, the Great Reset, that's nothing that was hidden. That was out in the open if you cared to look or cared to see or wanted to see. But I couldn't have sat down and said, hey, this is what they're going to call it. This is when it's going to play out. No, I don't have that kind of insider information. But as far as how will this play out, this is the big question, because I don't know that there is a definitive plan, because we are interfering every day. You are interfering every day. Your consciousness is, your thoughts are, and your actions are, right? So that's kind of that's what we're doing in every way and every day, is to make people see that this is not a set course. Certain things in our, if you will call it ascension, I don't know that I really like the word, but let's use it, in the ascension process, are simply going to play out the way they're going to play out. Are things going back to normal? No, because I don't believe we had a very desirable normal before, and I don't think people want to go back to normal. I think it would be a temporary relief if everything was just lifted today and we were back at mid 2019. People would say, brief, but then the whole cycle that we were in would begin also again, and in its full form, with all the pressures and all the things. And we had tremendous problems before, on an individual basis. We have an epidemic of addictions, opioid addictions, and antidepressant addictions. We have all those things that are still here, gotten worse for a lot of people. So I don't think it's desirable. At the same time, I believe in individual evolution, individual learning, consciousness learning. We cannot mandate love. We cannot mandate kindness. We cannot mandate consciousness expansion. That's something people have to want. So it is a individual process that we are now in collectively for so many of us. And so I can't say this is all bad, this is all good. It is what it is. We're in it. We have on some level co-created this, whether we want to admit it or not. Maybe we didn't want it in that way. Some of us particularly didn't want it in that way. But the question is not what could we have done differently. The question is now, what can we do differently now? This is the present moment. We have power in this moment. So what are we going to do with it? And that's the question I ask myself every day. That's the guidance I ask for every morning. I thank the Creator for guiding me, giving me ideas, intentions, expressing that through me. I think that's the path to go. Of course, there's a lot of things on practical levels that need to be done, and that you can only find out for yourself where you feel drawn to. Do you want to participate in a political process? Do you want to participate in helping people to step into non-compliance first and say, hey, we're not going to have it? Do you want to go to the school boards? Do you want to go into health? What do you want to do? That's up to your purpose.
The next question is, what are your thoughts on trying to incorporate a worldwide and national hub for ones set aside from above like us?
Can you repeat that question, please?
What are your thoughts on trying to incorporate a worldwide and national hub for ones set aside from above like us?
I'm not sure I really understand the question. Can you the worldwide and national hub? What does that really refer to? Maybe we can rephrase or make it clear, because I can't answer it as it is, and maybe move to the next question meanwhile.
How can I clean my soul from holding me back?
It's a good question. It's a frequent question. And you might get sick of the answer. It's always the same answer. Holding me back simply means there's something that wants to be seen. That's what holding me back means. Basically, you feel in your conscious mind, and you want to gallop, you want to live life, you want to thrive, you want to have, and then there's something that feels like a pullback, and that pullback simply says, look at me. There's something you need to see, something that needs healing, something that requires attention. And we don't have rituals in our society. We're not taught rituals. We're not taught healing processes. We're not taught to deal with any of that, whether that's just strong intuition or past trauma or something that happened in your life that really left a scar. We're not taught how to deal with that. And that's why we always say that, don't be afraid to take time for your healing. And people think, oh, I must be sick. Something must be wrong. If I can't see something, if I don't feel pain, I can't be sick. But it's a sickness of the soul. It's sadness of the soul, illness of the soul that causes all the other sicknesses. Luckily, we get signs from our souls. So the holding back is a powerful sign that says, become quiet, still, present, and allow yourself, open up from the inside, allow yourself to hear what's coming up. There will be something coming up. And then our tendency is to push it down because it might hurt, it might be painful. But that's where the healing happens. And we do recommend to use practitioners, healers, helpers to do that. Two of our favorite processes that we love to share is the Journey Process by Brenton Bays. You can look her up. A wonderful, beautiful process. There are practitioners worldwide, or family constellation therapy, which are both not long-term things. Those are both one-time events. Maybe you need to repeat it a second time, but the healing process is not long. The decision process, where you finally decide to get into the healing. That's what takes so long. That's the painful process where we struggle, where we fight it off, where we don't acknowledge it, where we don't want to realize it. That's what's painful. Once you make the decision to heal, help usually appears, and that then goes very quickly, very fast, and the relief is amazing. It's like a ton, of bricks that's just lifted off your shoulders, off your soul.
Carolina is asking, I am walking backwards because I didn't trust God. What am I supposed to do?
In a video that we posted 2 days ago, Elder Audrey Shenandoah of the Onondaga Nation said something so beautifully. She said, "We all have a mission, all have a purpose. We come with this mission and purpose, and so many people are trying to find it so badly. They're trying to figure that out so badly that they often don't realize that they're already in the middle of it." And she says it finds you more than you find it. I don't believe you're walking backwards. It might just feel that way, but I don't think you are. um, I think if you're honest with yourself, and purpose, mission, this seems to be such a huge thing. People think it's just becoming president or being a huge religious or spiritual leader or doing something that the world knows about. But I want to tell you that every single Tuesday morning when the garbage truck pulls up, I am thankful. And I've met people in spiritual meetings that told me they are garbage truck drivers and that's their purpose. And they feel empowered by, helping to remove the garbage and the dirt and help people to keep, environments clean and beautiful. So purpose is in everything. If we choose to see it, and it isn't just something big, it isn't just people that are in the spotlight. And your purpose has as much importance and value as anyone else's purpose. So first, I don't believe you're walking backwards, but also I would recommend, as always, to go into stillness, allow yourself to become quiet, maybe in nature, something like prayer or meditation, and not seeking something, not asking for something, more like allowing for things to come.
Kevin is asking, who or what inspired you guys most profoundly, and how did that change you?
I have to give all credit to the creator, my friend. Thank you for the question. Christine and I so often inspired each other. Christine is a great inspiration. I just told her an hour ago. I don't know how she does what she does. Um, you know, everything. I mean, just the sheer amount of beautiful things that she creates and does for us as a family, for the world, helping people. It never gives up on anyone. So it's a huge source of inspiration. Is my wonderful wife. She inspires me every day in every way, 24/7. I can't think of a moment where she isn't a huge inspiration. But I also know that it's the creator expressing himself through her or herself or itself. I mean, whatever you want to say. And so the creator is the biggest inspiration, because go out, look, I mean, still to this day, try to reproduce a leaf, try to reproduce a tree, try to reproduce the simplest things in nature, how perfectly they are designed and how they're functioning without anything that we need to do. Understand water, a drop of water, just how perfect it is and what all it can do and how it nourishes all of us. The beauty we find in crystals, in rocks, in nature, just the creation inspires me every day. The beauty I see in people, the spark I see in people in their eyes. I can't pinpoint it to one person on this planet that does that for me. It's all of the creation, and as they, in the Lakota, so beautifully they say, all my relations, it's everything, and that's inspires me beyond what any one teacher, any one master can do.
And the Anastasia books.
And the Anastasia books. Well, that is one of the purest expressions for me of the creator. One thing that we always share, the Ringing Cedar books by Vladimir Megre. They're in the description of every video, every live stream, always there. the books that come as closest to the pure expression of the Creator that we've ever read. And I know people say, what about the Quran? What about the Bible? I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not as versed in the Bible as I am in the Ringing Cedar books. And these books just profoundly inspire us every single day. It's a vision that has gotten a hold of us over 10 years ago, and it's becoming more beautiful, more powerful, uh, stronger, more expansive. And it is something that we want to share with the world as much as we can. So, yeah, thank you for this beautiful question, Kevin.
So that's kind of the explanation of the question before. He said, we need to get networking and tighten circle of wagons like Civil War. We need to get UG railroads established.
So that I think the question basically is, and I'm going to paraphrase. Maybe it's not what you meant, but that's a question we get often. What can we do practically? How do we need to listen? I mean, think of the simplest thing. What if a family? What if there's an issue in a family that regards most of the family? How will the family decide on what it needs to do? I'm talking extended family. What if there's an issue that concerns 20, 25, 30 members of a family? What can the family do? Well, first of all, they have to communicate, right? They have to get together. They have to meet, and they have to each be able to speak. They have to identify the issues at hand, what is most pressing. And then they have to each be able to speak on the solutions. And then if there's an elder, usually every family has an elder, someone who at the end of every conversation kind of sets the tone for where things are going. It's the same with us. What keeps you guys from in your communities meeting with a group of people, inviting them? Not you don't have to make it so conspiratorial or so in terms of fight. Just get together with people. You'll notice that some of your concerns they share, a lot of your feelings they share. Air that first and foremost. Get a sense for the temperature in a room. Get together with people, because your neighborhood, chances are that the interests of the people might align in many ways. So I think it's a renewal of most basic things: tribe, community, kin, friendship. That's where bonds are created. That's where people align with ideas and interests. And it's so simple to do. I mean, come on, set up a meeting in your driveway, set up a meeting in your garage, in your house. 10 people, 15 people, bring them together and tell them about what you believe needs attention right now, maybe in your town, in your city, in your community, and ask what they think. So many people are scared. So many people keep quiet. That's how they've been taught, but they might have very similar thoughts. You'd be surprised how many there are. So that's why we call for leadership so often. Individual, small group leadership. We need leaders in every community that take some sort of inspired action. And you will see that a lot of the things that now are question marks will then turn into clarity. And we believe that's the way to go. We can't tell the world what to do, but we sure can encourage people to come together, talk about it, and come up with ideas and solutions.
What do you think is the reason so many people becoming aware these days? What woke them slash us up?
It's been in the world of there's been visionaries over the last forever in history, always visionaries, right? People that could see a, a strong potential for the future. And it goes all the way from Nostradamus, who goes to warn of all the horrific things that might happen, and it goes to someone like Anastasia in the Ringing Cedar books, who paint the most beautiful vision of the future. But what they all share, most of them, is that they all said there was going to be a time in our collective experience where we would have uh, the ability to see things more clearly. And if you understand frequency, vibration, it's rising, and it has been rising. And all those things that are measurable have gone through the roof over the past years, you know. So there is we're beginning to understand that we're not three-dimensional beings. We're beginning to understand that there is a level, that there are dimensions that we're just slowly beginning to tap into, that used to be part of our experience, part of our understanding. And when you every now and then tap into that fourth dimension or fifth dimension, you get a level of clarity in an instant that is the equivalent of 15 years of studying or 20 years of studying. It's instantaneous clarity that you get when you tap into those dimensions, which you do when you are deeply relaxed or in meditation, in dreams sometimes, in nature sometimes. That's why we encourage those things. So I believe millions upon millions of people are tapping into those dimensions or not, and simply beginning to see things for what they are, not just on political levels or not just on, you know, those worldly levels. They're seeing they're seeing a bigger perspective. They're feeling a greater truth, and they can't necessarily word it, understand it yet, but they're feeling it. And that's the most important thing. And that's what's been going on, and it's unstoppable. The thing is, this is unstoppable. Even all the attempts, and if you understand that all the attempts that we're seeing, all the whole grip, everything, the medical side of it, everything is simply to stop or slow this down. This soul awakening, this third eye awakening, if you will, this reconnecting to the creator. That's what all these measures are about, to sever the tie or to at least slow that down. And so that's what is happening. That's where the battle is really happening. And so many people say, I can't go back to how I used to see the world because I can't see it for what it I believed it was. I see it for what it is. Totally different thing.
Graham is saying, hello from Spain. What are your thoughts on ancestry, as in knowing your race? My take on it is, in order to know where you're going, it's wise to know who and where you came from.
Thank you for that question. I I love how the Native Americans introduce themselves. They first tell whoever they're talking to who their people are, where they came from, where they live. Which I think is a beautiful thing. We have completely lost that in our culture, and it literally, you know, inspired me to ask the question, where are my people coming from? I know very little about this earthly lineage back. Some of it is blurry, some of it is hidden, some of it is secret. So it's hard to tell. But on a level where I have more access to that, which is again a different dimension in deeper states, I very much connect with my ancestry, with all the ancestors behind me, and in a lot of ways, I've especially over the past years connected with the men behind me because I realize my ancestors, my forefathers, they have a desire for me to fulfill or create a change that they couldn't. And so I imagine them all behind me, putting their hands on my shoulder and letting the energy flow all the way through to me and kind of giving me a little push and nudge and say, you got this. And on the earthly plane, I don't know. The thing is, anything aside from real personal oral connection where you talk to your grandparents and they tell you about the stories of their grandparents, which comes from memory. I don't trust it anymore. I don't trust genealogy because it's, who knows if that is true or not. It can be injected and intersected and changed. But I do believe that we should speak to our elders and hear their stories. They might have something very interesting to tell us. And I noticed that the more I go and listen to those stories, the more I find very surprising things that only now begin to make sense. So yes, I do believe that's very important. I do believe it's important for us to do it, but it doesn't mean that if you can't find that, if you can't figure out who your ancestors were, that your life has less value or your mission has less value. I don't believe that either. But it's a beautiful thing if you can go back in that lineage. One more question? One more. One quick question. I feel there's one quick question that we need to answer.
There are a lot of beautiful comments. Do you want me to read some of them?
Yes, but I know there's one more. I feel.
Okay, Rohit is asking, if you're feeling negative feelings, but you can tap into listening to something positive, is that the call of spirit or just positive thought? Because it's not fulfilling. I mean, he means fulfilling.
Yeah, Rohit is asking if you're feeling negative feelings and you can tap into listening something positive. Kind of, is that spirit talking, or is that, I would say, is that distraction? Um,
There's
I
a distinction.
There's a distinction. I will refer to, I think, the very first question. If there is a present moment negative feeling because you're out in the streets, there was an accident, you came to it, you see the picture, it horrifies you, it shocks you. That is a natural human feeling that you're having in the moment, right? There's nothing to fight there. There's nothing to push away. That's happening. Accept it, acknowledge it. If you have a negative feeling that is worry, anxiety, fear that keeps coming up all the time, that's not a present moment feeling. That is a past emotion that isn't real anymore. You just experience it as real from memory. That needs healing. If you can distract yourself, find a cool YouTube video, listen to something inspiring, and forget about it for a moment, but it's going to come back. Healing is, it cannot be replaced with anything else. You can't think your way into healing. You can't wish your way into healing. It's an active decision. You have to go deep enough to heal. So if that's habitual negative emotions that come from a past memory, they need to be healed. That there's simply no way around it. And that's probably going to be an evergreen question because that is so important. And I knew this question would trigger something very quick, but very important. If we drag on individually, all of us, if we drag on past emotion, past trauma, I mean, whether that was from physical, spiritual, mental abuse or pain, if we drag this on, this process that we're in is going to take that much longer. If we decide individually to face it, heal it, really heal it, then this is going to be a quantum leap for us individually and for humanity collectively, a quantum leap. This is what this time teaches us to do, to heal, 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 and we're gonna be like a beautiful rocket leaping. Tribe, we have to log off a little early today because in a couple minutes I'll be a guest on the Missing Link show. We posted it on the community tab. If you want to join it, it's going to be live streamed, and I look forward to that. Thank you for being here with us. Last chance to sign up for the Yada retreat. Clicking the link up in the live chat, and we'll see you again on Monday, 2 p.m. Central, right here on the Inspired channel. We love you dearly, with all our hearts, and we look forward to more expansion next Monday, 2 p.m. Central, right here on the Inspired channel.